I welcome you to the Strategics Corner podcast. This is M. Aslam Mirza. I'm leading the initiative for sharing the learn collective experiences of the experienced professionals in the business. And PMO Strategies is the um, entity which has taken this initiative to help business managers and professionals to move with complete confidence and authority and integrity to move in the career and business with all force. So PMO strategies is helping them to move in that way with the second views and different views from the professionals. And for that, I have a very strong person with me who is going to share the introduction and areas of his learning. So, so before I go to that, let me share with you what are the areas we are going to cover in this event right now. And it is generally, as I have already provided you some introduction to PMO strategies. Let me repeat it once again. PMO strategies is an entity uh, who are working with the strength and knowledge of strategic project management, helping the businesses to move in their strategic directions and building their competence and helping to move in that strategic directions. That's the basic idea of PMO strategies to provide that support. And that support is going to be built up through AI powered PMO Center of Excellence. That is a transformed position of Center of Excellence. Center of Excellence is very much in practice since last couple of decades, and it has been transformed, redefined with the AI power and project management power of business, power of doing business. So with that, it has brought up to a level where it can help the businesses to move in their strategic directions and to sustain their growth. Here is my exposure. As I just said, my name is M. Aslam Mirza. I have very extensive exposure to business industry, and the major thing which I would like to share with you are my four books, which are written under the theme of Aura. Aura is AURA. A goes for applying project management principles for organizational transformation. U goes for understanding human factors and workplace environment. R goes for respecting diversity, building teams, meaningfulness, and growing to leadership. Again, O that goes for agility to project management and collaboration. So these four areas of competence helps individual and the teams to thrive and to reach to the highest level of performance. That is in alignment with the aura. Aura is essentially a distinctive environment of energies surrounding a person or a team who have developed all these areas of competence. So for that reason, it has been referred to that theme, and that theme is really very forceful. I would like to bring to your understanding why this initiative has been taken up by PMO strategists. This endeavor is essentially to help business managers and professionals to move in their career and in their businesses with confidence and with force. So that is the basic idea of this endeavor, and this endeavor essentially needs to be captured in two aspects: how the experts and the senior business professionals were able to go through the COVID-19 era and came along with successfully from that challenges, and how best they can move on to the next level. That is with the basic idea. And here we are going to talk about the business complexities. These business complexities has got four areas of understanding: the external, internal, operational, and strategic. External essentially covers global volatility, technology changes, regulatory landscape, increasing competition, climate change, cybersecurity, geopolitical uncertainty, supply chain disruptions. These are the areas which comes from the external atmosphere on the businesses. And internal, that covers talent acquisition and retention, DEI and B, diversity, equity, inclusivity, and belonging. This is the challenge where the businesses are really forced to manage. The organizational culture and engagement. Next area is digital transformation, information decision making, leadership development, change management, communication breakdown. The operational area of complexities encompass managing remote workforce, streamlining processes, quality control, managing logistics, customer satisfaction, adapting AI and blockchain, managing intellectual property, mitigation risk. Uh, the strategic area of complexities encompass innovating business model, identifying new markets, building strategic partnership, managing mergers and acquisition, fostering innovation and research work, research and development, managing global expansion, sustainable business strategies. So having all these major areas of complexities, the businesses are required to float and successfully move towards their growth and to sustain that growth. So these all areas really requires very strong support and very strong working on these areas all along the approach for the business flow. So that's why this initiative is going to help the business managers and the professionals. And the second opinion gathered here will definitely will bring you a broader perspective and better understanding of the challenges to deal with. Here, I would like to introduce you Mr. Gordon Seeto, who is the managing director and CEO of Daykeyras Consulting, based in Australia. Instead of going into the details of his introduction, that I may not be able to bring a complete complete overview of his forceful exposures, I will request Mr. Gordon to bring his introduction himself so that I do not miss out anything important. So, Mr. Gordon, to you, please.
Thank you, Mohammed, and I appreciate your inviting me to be part of your very informative podcast. So, as Mohammed mentioned, my name is Gordon Seeto. My business is Daykeyras Consulting. I'm based in Australia on the East Coast. As a professional, I am a certified practicing accountant with a business finance background, but I also have ventured very much into the operational commercial side as well. So a bit of an all-rounder. I have a motto, which is really in summation that today shapes tomorrow, we help shape today, and the rest of the items there you can read for yourself at your leisure. So I've been around for more than 40 years, some of those well spent, others not so well spent, but the reason why I'm here is to help explain or share some of the experiences that I've had in really going through the elements which Mohammed outlined in the business complexities area. Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Gordon, for your strong introduction and then your heavy exposure to the business and and making yourself available to share your experience and learning. Well, the first question in that respect is that how you were able to manage all those complexities and helping the businesses who were in your contact and for whom you were working with to go across and successfully make your advancements in the challenges of COVID-19 and the complexities which is really happening now, and the disruptions taking place, multiplied by every day, and the uncertainties coming up forcefully. So first question is that how you were able to manage all that.
Thank you again, Mohammed. So what I'll do is, if I just refer to the 4 key elements which Mohammed highlighted before, which is external, internal, operational, and strategic. I would flip that around. What I do is I would flip that around in that there are 3 parts there: strategic, operational, and internal, which as a business owner or a business wannabe owner, you have completely under your control. The external element, you have partial control over, and the reason for that is because you're relying on information sources and people who are outside of yourself to provide you with assistance and information. So when I look at a business, my own included, the fundamental error that all of us make when we start out is we quickly jump into what I call solution mode. We think that we can solve anybody's problems with our areas of expertise and knowledge, and the reality is we can. However, what we don't do is we don't qualify what issues and problems we are actually trying to solve or help solve. So I would flip the order of these around and say the number one thing you should consider, and this is the advice I give to businesses with whom I work, focus on the strategic as your number one priority all the time. If you know what your strategy is and you've put it together with foundation, then you know what you're trying to achieve, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, why you're going to do it, and what you need to do it. So in other words, it gives you a framework on how to operate and run your business. Then you look at the aspects within it, which are the tasks elements under operational. That tells you, what assets you already have or you don't in terms of people, tools, systems, processes, etc., capital, and so forth. Then you look at internal. Internal tells you again what already exists within your business or your within your reach, and then you look at external with those 3 elements that don't satisfy what you need. You then look external as a comparison point, and also to give you maybe a number of views on the aspects of your strategy you're trying to achieve. If you can do that by focusing on the strategy element first, you will always do everything that you need to do to fulfill that strategy. If you don't, you will tend to do what is commonly known as the shotgun approach. You pull out the shotgun, you aim in the general direction of where you think your targets are, hoping to hit something. You may or may not hit something. If you don't, you pull the shotgun out again, you have another shotgun blast, hoping to hit, and your percentage of success is very small. Whereas if you have a strategy and you go, I want to hit that flock of birds that I see in the sky with my gun. So what you do in your strategy, as an example, is you go, well, where do those birds fly? Where do they exist? And when they fly, what direction do they fly in? Do they fly as individual birds, or do they fly as a group of birds? What do they do? So that information is available to you. And then once you know that, you can then say, all right, well, I know that when these birds fly, they fly as a group, a flock. There's usually 30, 40, 50 of them in this flock flying in a certain direction. They fly in a V formation because there's always a leader and followers. They fly at a certain speed. So when I aim my gun, I have to anticipate by the time my bullets get to them where they will be. So I need to aim in front of where they're flying. So when I fire in that fractions of seconds from the time I pull the trigger to when the bullets hit the flock, they will coincide at the same point. That's a strategy. Your likelihood of success then exponentially increases of hitting some of your target area. Therefore, instead of having less than 1%, your ratio of success may increase to 10, 20, 30% of actually hitting something. So there's an example of strategic. So when you look at operations, so well, what sort of gun do I need to be able to hit those sorts of objects? So you go out and you find one, etc. And then you look internally and say, well, am I sort of a good marksman? Could I actually hit what I'm aiming at, or do I actually know what I'm doing? If you do or you don't, that's fine. If you don't, you go, well, I need someone else who's actually an expert marks person who can shoot the gun where it's supposed to go and hit the target. So that's where the external comes into play. So all that is strategy, and everything else is a task to fulfill your strategy. So that's how I help people in their businesses to be successfully focused for success.
That's great, because I really love that with the perspective of the strategic, the whole organization needs to manage the complexities, because once you know which way and where you want to go, then only it becomes much easier to focus what needs to be corrected and in what way and how soon. So I really love that. Thank you very much for your contribution to this understanding.
Yeah. Well, Mohammed, just before you go on, what I want to actually add is that with PMO strategists, you have developed a framework which allows the business owner or user to use that framework to include all those elements and deliver it in a logical, methodical fashion. So
True.
these are the elements that you can go off and do on your own. But Mohammed's developed a wonderful tool already, which would be significantly advantageous for you to take advantage of.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you. Okay, with this, I will request you to bring to the understanding of the participants that how best they must manage to move to the next level.
All right, with that one, the first thing that I would encourage you to do is to understand who you are yourself. Because if you know with honest, and being brutally honest with yourself, what you're good at, what you're not good at, where you need help, where you don't need help, and so forth, then you have the elements of I cannot do this alone, or I can do this alone framed in your mind. It puts aside what we all have egos. It puts aside your ego to think that you know everything and can do everything. It allows you to then move forward in a logical fashion and go, if I want to do that, I need this. And if I don't have this, I can't do that, and so forth. So that would be the number one thing that I would encourage everyone to do is look in the mirror and look at who's staring back at you. Is it the image you want to show to yourself and the world, or is it not? And if it's not, what's missing? So if you can fill that out and be happy that every time you look in the mirror, you see a smiling, confident presence, you've achieved your goal. Then you will be able to represent yourself and your business in that fashion every time you appear on whatever stage you're at. So whether it's you're presenting, whether you're doing a pitch, whether you're at a networking event, whatever it is, you own your own space. If you don't do that, you will never be able to interact at that level with people at that level, because they will sense that you are not confident of who you are. So that's my number one tip, Mohammed, on that. The other elements we discussed before, the strategic, operational, internal, external, they all fold in behind that. So once again, it's knowing what you're trying to hit, or the objective that you want to get to is the absolute must-have in your setting up of your organization and your business. If you don't have that, then you're still an operator or an employee mindset person rather than a business owner.
Great, just great. I think it will be very much helpful to the professionals and the business managers to understand and open up their perspective for moving in the challenging atmosphere of their businesses. Well, I'm very fast reaching to the closing of the time, so I will go on a fast track just to conclude. PMI, project management office, uh, transform to center of excellence with the power of artificial intelligence is the solution. And PMO strategies has come up with that support services to move in the required directions and to help the businesses to move on and find out what best can be carried out by the businesses. With this, here is the contact area for Gordon. If you have any clarity, some more information required, you can reach out to him, and he will be definitely helpful to bring you better understanding. And here is my contact areas where you can reach out. And if you want to learn more, the best thing is that you can ask for a presentation on the value of PMO Center of Excellence. That's the best uh, to understand why and how it is strong support for the businesses. And there you can also learn why and how you can improve your professional strengths for moving higher in the career. With this, I I thank you very much, and I'm going on fast track because I know it's going to be over. So before my system goes off, I think I have reached to the level where I can say goodbye and thank you very much for your time and for your learning interest. With this, again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohammed.